here is we're testing a bunch of cameras, right? So we have the R5, we have the C70, we have the Komodo, we have the Sony a7S III, the C500 Mark II up here. And the whole idea behind it is to try and capture, if you can come and look in this way, Bert, so that the window's in the background. Whenever talent is in front of the camera and there's a window in the background, you generally have to blow it out because it's a very difficult shot for a lot of cameras. So what we're doing here is seeing how each of these different cameras and sensors perform. And to standardize the test, what I did was essentially create this scene here where Bert was standing right next to this chip chart. And then what we did is we metered so that the meter read f8. So all the cameras at ISO 800 shooting at 23.976 frames per second on the same lens minus the Sony, but they're all the 55mm, and get a close up here so we can see it. It's the Helios 44M-4. So it's a 55mm lens. All the cameras except for the Sony a7S III use that exact same lens. And the Sony a7S III actually used the, and I'll just grab it here quick. But it is a size 55mm f1.8. So all the cameras were set to f2, and then we added 4 stops of ND. And they all used this ND filter that's made by Schneider Optics. So this is a 4-stop, so 1.2. And I put it in front of each camera so that the color was not biased in any way. It was as level of a playing field as we could do. When the situation here changed, so like if my f-stop changed, let's say I went to f7 or f4, I would use this razor light to then adjust my levels so that the gray card was always reading at f8. That was very important. So the gray card is always at f8, and where Bert was standing was always at f8. Doing that, just kill this racer light. I'm going to show you guys, now that you know that this scene was set up for f8, now let's take a look at what the dynamic range is of the rest of the situation here. So the sun hitting this arm, f36. The window, f8. This window sill, f10. We can see some of this wall. That's at f5.6. We can see part of this artwork here. That's f5.6. Outside in the snow where it's shaded, let me get a quick reading. That's f18. And direct sunlight, which I'm not going to go out the back because there's way too much snow, but I can go right out the front door here and check direct sunlight. That's f57. So that is going to be our baseline and give you guys a sense as to what we are trying to accomplish here and the big, gigantic dynamic range differences between this f8 scene, which is being shot at f2 with 4 stops of ND, versus f57, which is the snow in the background that we could see through that window being hit by direct sunlight. Now that's not 13 or 15 stops or 16 stops of dynamic range, but most cameras struggle with this, which is the reason why we're doing this test.